Hi guys, so today we are going to continue our lecture series by talking about Walldo, W-A-L-L-D-O, not where's, Walldo. This is an acronym for something, and based on everything that we've already gone over to this point, what do you think Walldo might be an acronym for? An acronym is a series of letters where each letter stands for a full word, all right? While you think about that, check out this video clip that uses Walldo. I love this next part. 3, 2, 1. All right, so funsies. So Walldo is an essential of cinematography, or the art of filming, okay? First of all, the W stands for wide. Remember wide shots? We've talked about them before. So always start with your establishing shot, your wide shot. The very first shot of a new scene, the very first shot of a new movie. It's designed to show the audience where all the action is taking place. A lot of times we get those really grand moving, extra wide, high angled shots. So let's take a look at some examples. All right, so here we know that this movie begins in a city. This is a nice wide shot that establishes where Rocket was going to take off from. All these are wide shots. They are very dynamic shots. They're all moving. We have a couple of drones. We can get you some decent high moving shots of the school, since this is where your film will have to take place, right? So remember this, the pedestal shot going up, moving from one wide angle to another and revealing something. Always a very effective shot. Okay, this one is interesting because it does a time lapse on top of showing a wide shot of the city and watching how it grows and develops over the decades. All right, so wide or establishing shot, that would be your W in Walldo. The A in Walldo stands for angled. What are our angles? Well, the most common angle, of course, is eye level, because that's how we see the world, straight on from our eye level. Next, we've got the high angle, any angle where the camera is pointing down, and that actually always puts your character in a position of weakness, okay? So be sure that you are using that shot for a specific reason. And of course, overshot straight down. But miss, you didn't mention low. Why? Because that is the first L. Low shots. So instead of shooting a subject while you're standing, which is fine, but it's too common, you could put yourself on the ground, tilt it slightly upwards. So that's a low angle. It puts the character in a position of power. Or you could put it on the ground and you can add an air of mystery, a tone of mystery. If all we see are feet going by, so you set the camera on the ground, all we see is feet going by, adds a tone of mystery. Car driving past where we just see the wheels, and then maybe the car stops in front of the camera and the feet come out of the car. Another way you can use a low angle is to create the illusion of an animal. A dog or a cat, you can move the camera low to the ground in order to create that illusion. Do a point of view shot from the animal. And of course, you can do straight up, the undershot that can show exactly what's going on overhead. The next L is a linking shot. This, the example, the very first video we watched from the Avengers, that linked all of the characters and where they were within this battle for Manhattan. All right, so that is one type of linking shot. Another type of linking shot is in this next example video. See? So basically, it's just changing where the camera is. We show him walking into the door. Now we switch the camera to inside and we complete the action. Now we show him going past the camera again, walking through the house. Anytime he exits, we show him entering the next spot. This also helps show your character getting from point A to point Z. All right, so that is a linking shot, showing your character getting from one place to the next. Because if your character starts off in, let's say, the library of the school, and the next shot, all of a sudden, they're in the cafeteria. Well, how did they get there? It makes no sense. So you want to show the progression of the character from the library to the cafeteria. All right, next. This is a review of everything. Oh, what is this? Depth shot. So we've gone wide, W, A, angled, L, low, L, linking. We've got two more letters, D and O, a depth shot. Basically, what it boils down to is you have something in the foreground and something in the background. Okay, so you focus on one major person or thing and you have a very distinct background. It allows your audience to see the bigger picture. For example, two people playing catch on a lawn next to a lake, and then behind them on the lake, a canoe passes by. Here we go. Here is a depth shot. Now, here's something interesting I'd like to point out. Even though this is a high-angled shot and we are aiming down at this guy, he is not in a position of weakness, is he? No. Gosh, I wish you guys were here because I usually get an actual response from my audience at this point. So, he is not in a position of weakness. Why? Because everyone below him is. He holds power over all of those people in the cubicles beneath him. But anyway, so he's in the foreground, and then they're all in the background, even though everything's facing that way. So that adds good depth to this shot. This is selective focus. In this, we see our main character, Daniel Craig, from the movie Defiance, and then everybody around him is out of focus. Our attention is forced to him because he is the only thing in focus. Again, those people in the foreground and the background all add depth to a shot. We need depth because we don't live in a one-dimensional world. We live in a three-dimensional world. Sorry, we don't live in a two-dimensional. It's not just width and height. It's width, height, and depth for us. Here in Social Network, again, we've got a character we're being forced to focus on. The character in the center is in focus. The characters in the foreground and in the background are all out of focus. So again, selective focus or forced focus. Here, and from the movie Inception, we've got someone in the foreground and we've got someone in the background. So we have the illusion, the sense of three dimensions. All right, now, opposite shot. So wide for W, A, angled, L, low, L, linking, D, depth. Finally, we've got O for opposite. Opposite is when you shoot the scene in a way that is unexpected, different than what you would do. For example, shooting the reflection in a mirror or in a glass wall or something like that, shooting the reflection instead of the actual actors. Here is a really good example of an opposite shot. I call it the impossible shot because, I'll show you in a second. So it's opposite because she is running towards the camera. By the way, background is her father's having a heart attack. She is running to go get the pills that should save his life. Here's where it becomes the impossible shot. How did the camera get behind her? Because the camera was in front of her a second ago. And as the cabinet slowly closes, we get another really great opposite shot here as we get the reflection of her and her father in happier times. I'm going to let it play again. Watch. This is impossible. Not quite sure how they did it. It's a bit of beautiful editing. See, the camera is in front of her, but when she reaches, all of a sudden, how did that happen? Beautifully done. All right. So anyway, by the way, this was a terrible movie. It was from the movie Contact, if I remember. But the actual cinematography was very well done. The acting was, it was just a bad movie overall. Okay, enough of that. Now, go ahead and watch this.
There are many ways to spice up your films. One way is called the Walldo camera technique. In the Walldo technique, we use the following 6 camera angles: a wide shot, an angled shot, a low shot, a linking shot, a shot showing depth, and an opposite shot. Let's go into more detail. A wide shot can be used to get many subjects into one shot. All objects should be in focus. Next, using an angled shot can add a 3D effect to your film. To do this, just face the camera at a subject at an angle. A low shot is creative and gives an interesting perspective. To get this view, place the camera lower than the subject and look up at the subject, or get a ground level view. A linking shot is a shot that starts on one subject or object and pulls or pans to reveal another subject or object. Depth shots are important to show creativity. Shots look more three-dimensional as well. For this to work, you should have an object in the foreground and background in order to show distance and depth. Opposite shots are unique. It is usually up to the camera operator on how to perform this shot. One example would be to film the opposite side of a subject rather than the front. Using the Walldo technique can bring a new dimension to your film and make it look more professional. Walldo doesn't have to be shot in any specific sequence. In the end, it all comes down to your own ideas. Good luck.
All right, so again, to review: wide, angled, low, linking, depth, opposite. I believe that for your exit ticket, I am expecting you to write each of those down, or type it in to the assignment box under Create. Or if you are at home and you don't have internet access, then writing it down, and we'll get it back from you later. And be sure to define each one. So wide, establishing shot; angled, eye level or high. Go through and do all that, okay? So I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.